Hello, I hope I'm live because my phone was doing a very odd thing. But if I am live and you can see me, then welcome to my Wednesday Facebook Live. And today I'm going to share with you some of my story from my early days in sales and how I believe that going into sales actually made me a better version of the person I was back then. And I think that when I went into sales, it was by accident, which is the way that many of us do end up in sales. It maybe isn't a first choice, but I was in a job and I was really unhappy, and I, by fluke, and I won't go into that story because I like to finish my Facebook Live in 10 minutes, but I got into sales and I started to feel really fulfilled in this new role, even though it was a bit scary because I'd never done anything like it before. And my goal for this Facebook Live, my outcome really, is to give you a different perspective on sales that may actually help you in your business. Because if you can use what I later discovered, the reason was why I was having such a great time in sales, and I'll share that with you. But if you can discover that for yourselves, then sales can be a really joyful experience. And I know for many it really is not. And if you're one of those people who doesn't enjoy the sales element of their small business, then this could give you some insights. So I get into this sales job, and at first I was really focusing on learning what I had to learn in order to be able to sell these products and services. And in a funny kind of way, I was having a ball. I was even though I was concentrating, what I knew that I did like to do and that I was good at was chatting. So I always believed in the early days, because I didn't really quite know what I was doing, I always believed that I was getting paid to chat with people, and that was like a plum job for me. And I didn't talk necessarily to people about the services and products, although that came into the conversation. I would just, because I wasn't sure what I was doing, I actually would ask them things about what they did outside of work, and did they have a family, and what their hobbies were. And I didn't realise back then, but that was a great way of getting into rapport with people and to develop a relationship where people grew to like me and trust me and buy from me. But that's a whole other side. The reason that I believe that sales made me a better version of myself, and for those of you that know me, you'll know that I always say never compare yourself to others, only to the you of yesterday. So that's why this is quite important, is because it was fulfilling my values as a human being. And the values that are really important to me are things like contribution. It's really important for me to be contributing, and I do this naturally in all areas of my life, not just at work. I do it in with family, with friends. I love to help people. I love to contribute to whatever they're trying to achieve. And so every new customer I met, sorting out what they wanted and giving them what they needed was my way of contributing to making their life easier. And that for me made me feel like a superhero, knowing that I was helping other people, even in a business context, was a really fulfilling thing for me. And I didn't realise it at the time, but it was meeting one of my biggest values. The other I'll share some other values with you, is achievement. Every time I got a sale, I felt like I'd achieved something. In addition to helping the customer, I also felt like, wow, I've done it. I've got the contract. And so that was also really fulfilling for me. So every time I got a sale or got a contract signed, I felt really buzzed up. I felt really amazing. I felt really good. So it was meeting that. That also gave me a lot of joy, which is one of my other values. So chatting with people gave me joy. Winning contracts gave me joy. Just generally going around the business of organising myself and getting from one place to another gave me joy. When everything went according to plan, it didn't always, but when it did, I got my joy fulfillment. Now, another one of my values is connection. I love to be connected with people, and that doesn't mean like, I like to be at parties all the time, although I quite like a party. It means a deep connection with another human being or a small group of human beings, and I really love that. So as a salesperson, I got opportunity to be connected to other people in other businesses, and then when I became a sales manager, I got the opportunity to connect with my team. And as I've started my business, there's connections to be made all over the place. So I'm connecting all day long. Today I'm in the office on my own, and that doesn't mean I'm not connecting at all, because I speak on the phone to people or on Skype. I speak with clients and potential clients. So I speak with people in the building. When I go and grab myself a cup of green tea in the kitchen, I'm connecting with people. So I love that feeling of connection. And the other value I'm going to share is success. For me, feeling successful is really important. I love to feel that I'm doing a good job. I love to feel that I'm helping people. I love to feel that I am, top of my game, and I will do the things that I need to do to keep me in that position. And so sales is a great way of meeting all of those values. So there's contribution, achievement, joy, connection, and success. They are my values, and everything I was doing when I went into sales for the first time, no wonder I was so happy in this industry, because it absolutely meets my needs. But what's curious is you can get your values met in any profession. Could I have got them met if I was a doctor or a nurse, or as a teacher, or as somebody working in an office just doing admin? It doesn't matter what the job is, because once you know what your values are, you can find ways of integrating them into whatever job you're doing, or even outside of work. So if you know what your values are, and if you don't, you seriously need to take the time out to do this. So remember that a value is something that is not a tangible thing. It's not something that you can put in a wheelbarrow, like money, for example. It's an intangible thing, like contribution, achievement, joy. They're things that you can't put them in a box. They are values that are part of me. So whatever your values are, they're inherent to who you are as a human being. So take some time to establish what your values are, and you can use post-its every time you think, yes, this is really important to me. What else is really important to me? Write each one on a post-it and just stick them on the wall. And then you can put them in order of importance if you want, so that you've got your top 5 or your top 10, and then ask yourself, how can you create that in your business? And more importantly, how can you connect your values to sales? How can sales be aligned with your values? So if contribution is one of your values like mine, then the way that you're contributing is to every single customer that you come into contact with, every single potential customer. Even if they don't buy from you, you can contribute to them in some positive way. And the more you link sales to your values, the more you'll enjoy it, the more you'll embrace it, the more you will do it. And so that's my take on why I absolutely love sales. And once you've established your values, I hope it allows you to love sales more than you currently do. So until next week, that's me for now. I'm just checking the time and I've just about sneaked in on 10 minutes. So so have a great rest of the day, have a great rest of the week, and I will see you next Wednesday at 12:30. Bye for now.